Good morning, everyone. This morning we continue on our series on how to be financially free. So today we are here with Dr. Ken Tan, and today he will talk about something which you may not be aware of. This book called Cashflow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki, and he'll explain to you what are the key concepts from this book. Go ahead.
Hello, hi Paulus. Good to see you this morning, and hi everyone. Today we would like to talk about the what we call the cash flow quadrant. Actually, this cash flow quadrant was actually ESBI, to be more specific, was actually came up with by Robert Kiyosaki, the financial educator, with the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, one of the New York Times bestseller. So the whole concept is no matter how we make money, we actually fall into one of these four categories. As the name suggested, E, S, B, and I. So E stands for employee, and S stands for small business, and B stands for big business, and I stand for investor. So E and S is put on the left quadrant, and B and I is on the right quadrant. So E, S, B, and I. So E and S, surprisingly, on the left quadrant, is made up of 90% of the world population, but they only control or take charge of 10% of wealth. On the other hand, B and I on the right quadrant is made up of 10% of the population only, but they were enjoying 90% of the wealth. So in the other words, they are the rich people. So it was quite interesting when he came up with this ESBI to explain how he actually segregate the white people into left and right with different way of making money. So people in E and S, they actually trade time. They trade their labor, and they trade their knowledge, they trade their experience for money. Because, for example, most importantly, they trade their time for money. So because there's only 24 hours a day, so there's a cap. No matter how much you earn per hour, so there's a cap, there's a limit on how much you can earn. So the difference between E and S, so E is normal employee, and a lot of people, including myself, my parents always, taught me to study more, to have more education, so that I can be a professional person and earn more per hour. So essentially, I still fall into this trade time for money category. So E and S is those that trade time for money, whereas B and I, especially B is a bit different. B actually they have a system. They will come up with system. They actually use a standard operating procedure. They have training, and they make use of a system to actually make money. And I, of course, is an investment, investor, that they invest in properties or stocks or bonds and whatsoever. So by looking at that, right, you see that the people on the left and people on the right, the whole concept is very different. So, oh yeah, by the way, they do have this cash flow game that's very, very interesting, because sometimes the most valuable thing in our life is actually time. And if we need to go and experience all these, I think one lifetime is not enough. So in order to better learn about this, is actually, I would say, the cash flow game.
Just on that point, if you're interested to know whether you are an ESB or an I person, whether you have the right mindset, come and contact us to register yourself to play this game. And it's a simulation about how to make money with money, given your different playing cards. And the interesting thing about it, Dr. Kang, is that I'm always interested to see how people play the game, because it tells something about them. And it's about learning, okay? It's not about winning, really. It's about learning to be more financially literate. Yeah.
So yes, what you say is right, because I remember the first time I played that game. You know, I really, it's a real reflection of how my relationship with money and my how I handle my finance, and through playing the game, you know, I really got to learn how others what others are thinking, how others are managing their wealth. Yes, it's a very interesting board game, and we learn in a fun way. Yes, and that we start to see, like for example, to distinguish between asset and liabilities. What is active income? What is passive income? And what happened, you know, in real life. You know, sometimes you get downsized. Sometimes you are exposed to different opportunities, so on and so forth. Yeah.
So there you go. That's today's session. If you're interested to know more, contact us. Thank you.
See you again.
Have a good day.
Bye.